To start for our practice, we're going to start seated. And a recommendation that I have for when you are seated in yoga, if you have a bolster, you can sit on that, or if you have a block, you can sit on that. If you have a pillow, if you want to fold up your mat, those are all great options. So what you're going to do is right at the bottom of your pelvis on those two bones, you're just going to put your blanket or your bolster or your block right under those points, so that when you're sitting with your legs like this, you want your knees to be a little bit lower than those hips, if you can get it up high enough. Now, this knee is going to look a little funny because I'm still trying to recover again from injuring that ACL repair. So if you look at this, like that's what it would normally look like on the opposite side. And when you do that, that helps sort of rotate that pelvis so that you have more of a neutral, or what I would call an anterior tilt, versus when, you know how you kind of sink down like this when you're sitting, you round out your lower back. It helps you to lift up, and then the knees being a little bit lower than the hips helps reduce pressure on your low back. It's a great option too if you're sitting in meditation. Okay, so once we get nice and comfortable there, go ahead and lift up. So kind of engage the abdominals, open up through the chest, open through the collarbone, draw your shoulders down your back, and then pull that chin in, just a slight tuck of the chin, creating a little length behind your neck. And then we can place the hands wherever they feel comfortable. You could have them palms up on your legs. Or you could do what we call a chin mudra, which is bring the thumb and the pointer finger together. So wherever they feel comfortable. I'm just going to extend this leg out right here so it's not uncomfortable for me. And when you're ready, go ahead and close those eyes. And just become aware of the ebb and flow, that inhale and exhale of your breath. As you do that, see if you can become aware of, in that inhalation, if your chest is expanding or if you're feeling it more deeper in the belly area. See if you can start to allow the abdominals to relax. And as you breathe in, allowing that release. And exhale. See if you notice the coolness of your breath as you inhale through your nose, and the warmth of the air as you exhale through your nose. You can relax your jaw by bringing the tongue up toward the roof of the mouth, right behind your front teeth. And opening a small space between your teeth and the jaw to relax down. And see if you can smooth over your brow, see if there's some facial muscles that can be loosened and released with your breath. Just allowing that relaxation and that calmness to wash over you. And with your next inhale and exhale, go ahead and open your eyes. We're going to bring our ear over to the right side to start. Inhale back up and bring your ear over to the left side. So we're not really forcing it, we're just allowing that range to settle in. Keep doing some more neck work, so you might feel that it starts to open up a little bit. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, we'll move over to the side again. Ear coming to that right side. If you'd like to extend out the left arm from here, it's a great option. Flex that hand, so pull the fingertips up. And then inhale, lifting that head up. Exhale to the opposite side. Extending out the opposite arm, that would be your right hand, and flexing. And then inhale back up. This time we're going to go ahead and add in a roll. And when we roll our neck, we only roll to the front. And we stop right as that ear hits that shoulder. Rolling the back of the neck can be really hard on the cervical spine. So we're going to avoid that motion. We just stick to the front roll. So bring that ear back to your right shoulder. Inhale. And as you exhale, go and allow that chin to drop forward, keeping your thoracic spine nice and straight. The back's pretty straight. It's just that neck coming forward. Draw that chin across your collarbone and over to the opposite side. Inhale here and exhale, rolling to the front. Sort of engaging and seeing where that you might feel that tightness throughout that range. Keep going side to side, a couple more times. And then once you end up back to the right again, I'd like you to turn your chin in towards the collarbone. So you're looking down at your chest. And that same arm that you're looking at, go ahead and take that hand right behind the opposite ear. I don't want you to actually pull down on your head, just kind of allowing the weight of the arm to settle down. It's almost as if you're looking underneath your shoulder, underneath that underarm there. And once you're here, see if you ended up kind of sagging in that posture, like kind of rounding your back. See if you can lift up. Lengthen through that spine, minus the cervical piece of it. And then gently release. And we'll lift up, and we're going to turn to the opposite side. So looking over the opposite side, drawing that chin down towards your collarbone. That same arm that you're looking at, you're going to take that hand and reach behind the ear. So right around the back of the head. And lifting up that spine nice and tall, you're just kind of looking under that arm. Okay, gently release that hand, and you're going to come out nice and slow. So no quick movements here. And coming to the front, let's roll those shoulders back a few times. And opposite direction. Bringing your hands to your heart center in Anjali Mudra. That's just prayer position with your hands at the heart. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, open. As you open, kind of glide those hands really wide, elbows wide, all the way down. Do that again. Inhale, press up. Exhale, open. And last time. Okay, let's extend those legs out now. So you might want to get rid of that block for a moment. And kind of shake them out if you need to. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, leading with your heart center. So try to keep a nice, flat, neutral back so your chest is open. You come forward. You might feel that in the back of the thighs. And when you can't keep your back straight any further, go ahead and bring those hands down, supporting that upper body and drawing that head down toward your legs. Inhale, lifting up. Let's draw our feet over to our right side. I'm just going to bend them this way. Now your heels may go really close to your bottom. This one's going to be a little limited on me. So the hand that's closest to your legs, grab hold of that ankle, and the opposite arm is going to reach up really high. So start by lifting up as high as you can towards the ceiling. Inhale. And then exhale over here. Now, if you find that's challenging to get over there, you can open up your legs like this, and that might help you. This one I really like because not only is it a nice stretch for the obliques, but it's also a great one for the QL, the quadratus lumborum, that low back muscle. And with the legs flowing this way, it helps to really stretch that one. Okay, inhale, lifting up. That same arm that's up in the air, you're going to bring that forearm down. Grab hold of that top foot as you pull that heel back towards your bottom. You're going to open up through your thigh, the belly, the chest, and the shoulder. And then check in to make sure your neck is in a nice neutral position so you're not have your ear down or up. And then also that elbow that you're resting in, make sure you're not sagging into that shoulder. So you're going to kind of press away so you have that engaged. Awesome. Okay, as you come up, go ahead and press into that standing hand there. You're going to take that foot that you're holding onto, and you're going to extend out that opposite leg as you wrap that foot around here. And then from here, I'm going to do a gentle twist. You're going to inhale, lifting that left arm to the side. And you're going to wrap that arm around like you're hugging that knee in and across your chest. Once you get in that position, you might feel that deep in your glute here. You're going to lengthen up that spine nice and tall. This hand right here is going to press right underneath the shoulder and then look back over your right shoulder. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and release. Keeping that leg crossed there, the leg that's straight out, if you could slide that up into a bent position. We're going to do a seated pigeon here. So here we are in seated pigeon. You can flex that top leg if you want to. When you're in this position, you might already feel this in the glutes, so this might be all you need. If you want to draw your hip closer to that front heel, that'll make it a little bit more intense of a stretch for the glutes, so you can arrange yourself accordingly. And then once you've hit your nice final position, it feels pretty good, your body's talking to you, not yelling at you, go ahead and draw your chin down towards your chest. Inhale, lengthen up. Let's draw the hips back away from that heel if you brought it closer. And release that leg. Now the legs are going to come a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. This is a seated windshield wiper, so kind of lean back just slightly. And we'll do that windshield wiper we normally do lying on our back, but we're going to do it seated. Draw the knees down toward the floor with your exhale, and inhale up and over. Okay, go ahead and finish up the one you're working on, and we'll extend out those legs again. All right, I could tell her to move, but so your legs are going to be straight out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lean with that heart center, nice, straight, flat, neutral spine, as much as you can keep it like that. And then as soon as you feel like you need to start bending, go ahead and support that weight with your hands and come on in. It's breathing into that again, not really forcing it as far as like it's really screaming at you, just kind of enjoy that gentle stretch. When you're ready for your next inhalation, go ahead and engage those abs, come up, and then we'll slide our feet over to the opposite side. So we're going to bring them over to our left side. And once we're there, that hand that's closest to the ankle, go ahead and grab hold. The other arm is going to come up and really lift up out of those hips first, as high as you can, and side bend. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's literally like lunchtime in my kitchen behind that door. So all I'm hearing is everyone making their lunch. It is what it is. Deal with it. Working from home. Okay, let's bring that forearm down. And as you do that, you're going to pull that heel back towards the bottom that you grab hold, and then really try to lengthen through that thigh, belly, chest, shoulder. As you pull back. Again, neutral position with that neck, and then make sure you're not sagging in that shoulder, so kind of press away when you can. Go ahead and press up. I'm going to take that foot around as the other leg lengthens. Even out your weight on your hips, on your bottom, on those bones. Lengthen up through your spine. So nice straight position here. Right arm comes out to the side. Go ahead and wrap that arm around that knee, kind of hugging it in and across your chest. You might even walk that foot in a little bit closer. But I want you to like lift up and straighten before you look back. So instead of kind of rounding out and looking back, we're lengthening that spine. And then look back over that left shoulder. And just give yourself a couple more breaths here. Okay, coming back to the center. I'm going to slide up that front leg into that sitting pigeon. You can scoot your bottom towards your heel if that feels comfortable to you. Walk your hands forward. And then once you found your position, go ahead and bring your chin to your chest. Okay, with your next inhalation, go ahead and release. Bring the hips back. Open up those legs once again. I'll just do a few of those windshield wiper moves. Just drawing the knees down towards the floor. Inhale as you come up and exhale as you lower down. Okay, last one. Okay, let's move to a butterfly position. So the soles of the feet are together, and I would like to start like more in a diamond shape. So they're pretty wide position between your pelvis and your heels. And if it feels comfortable, you can pull them in a little bit closer. From here, you're welcome to just stay here, or we're going to try extending out each of the legs one at a time. So the way you can do that is you can take your first two fingers between the big toe and the second toe, or you can just grab hold of the inside of that foot. Another option is to use a towel or a strap to wrap around your arch of your foot. So either way, so we'll start with our right leg to start. I'm just going to extend that leg up. Now, if you have pretty tight hamstrings, you might not be able to extend your leg all the way, and that's okay. But I do want you to try to, when that leg is up, to try to open up through the belly and the chest and draw your shoulders back instead of rounding out. Do this. Take away my strap. It feels a little bit better. Do it this way. Nobody's pulled off their big toe yet. And then let's switch over to the opposite side. Remember to open up through the chest. Lifting up nice and tall. And then we'll do that one more time, right and left. Or if you're really feeling good today, you can try to do both legs at the same time. This is called spread eagle. Just kidding. That's not really what it's called. It's a little bit of a joke. Do we make it? Sometimes you fall backwards. That's okay. It's all in good fun. Okay, great job. All right, so now just cross those legs in front. Do Kasana easy pose and walk those fingertips forward. Okay, inhale, walking up. We're going to move our position into hero's pose. And what I recommend for hero's pose is, normally we're kneeling down and your bottom is back on your heels, but that bugs a lot of people's knees to have that pressure and that openness in the knee joint as they're sitting back. So I highly recommend a block, and I would do it this direction, so you can really hit the two bottom points of your pelvis there. I'm trying to remember the name of those. I know the inner portion of it is a acetabulum. I think the points are something like ischial tuberosity or something like that. Anyway, you're going to sit back on those. I'm actually going to use two of them because of my limited range with my knee. I don't even know if that would work for me. Yeah, that's not even going to work for me. See, I'm going to modify up the big tower here, but I'll be able to do it. That's the great part about yoga or any exercise is there's always a way to modify it. So here we are. So again, you might have totally fine sitting back on those heels and it feels fine for you. So any way that adds up is fine. And then what we're going to do is using your towel or your strap or your t-shirt or whatever you have, I'm going to try to create a scenario where we have sort of a V shape with our hands. And we're going to inhale, lifting up, and exhale, pulling back. I don't want you to pull all the way back yet. Just kind of a little bit back and coming forward. And I'm going to have to open up this leg here. It's not working for me today. So your legs can stay back. You can go whatever position you want, but I'm not going to, this doesn't feel right, so I need to change it. So just keep going forward and back. This one is amazing. It's going to feel so good when you're done. But I want you to just be really gentle with it. Open up those shoulders. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, down. And then next time you come up, let's just do a little side to side. Easy. Side bend. Lateral flexion of that spine. Over to the other side. Okay, now some of us may have to open a little bit wider. I don't want any strain on the shoulder. It should feel pretty open. And then there might be some of us where it's just not going to feel right, and I don't want you to do it. That's yoga. Yoga is listening to your body. Now up. See if you can go all the way back. Again, if you hit that sticky point and your shoulder's saying no thank you, you're listening to your body. Not everyone has that range of motion quite yet. But the wider you go, the more opportunity that will be to feel appropriate. So incorporating that breath, inhale, lift up. Exhale, open. Now back up. Exhale. Let's do a couple more. You can do this without a strap. What I would recommend is just making sure that your thumbs stay up as you do that. And back. It helps open up that shoulder joint. You want to try to do that with the hands down or the thumbs down. Okay, great. Go ahead and finish the one you're working on. Clasp those hands, pointing your index finger forward. You're just going to reach forward as you pull that belly button in and bring your chin all the way to your chest. And then inhale, lift up. And then exhale back to that forward position, rounding out that back to your chest. Inhale, lift up. And this time, bring those hands behind your head, pull those elbows back, really expand through your chest here. And then exhale, rounding those elbows, chin down to your chest. Try to touch your elbows together. Now, once you're here with those elbows together, try to lengthen up that spine, minus the cervical spine part, just the thoracic and the lumbar. Lengthen up. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, pull the elbows back. And exhale, round. Okay, great. All right, let's move positions now into all fours. So once you move into all fours, especially with a pretty thin yoga mat, I always recommend some cushion for your knees. Make it feel comfortable. Hands placed right below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Just kind of rock a little bit side to side and get inside that, into your body. And then eventually making your way into that traditional all fours position with a nice neutral spine. We're going to inhale as we prepare. And as you exhale, press through those fingertips, rounding out through the shoulder blades, belly button pulls in, tailbone tucks, chin to your chest, and cat. And then on your cow, inhale, point that tailbone back, draw the belly down, shoulders glide down your back, open your heart center, but look just straight along the horizon. So you don't want to keep that neck like you're trying to look up to the sky. Just keep it looking straight forward. And then exhale, rounding out into that cat once again. Inhale the cow. Exhale in the cat. Inhale in the cow. Think of lengthening your spine on the cow. And open up to that chest a little bit more. Draw those shoulders back. And one more time, exhale cat. Inhale cow. And exhale back to that neutral position. We'll do the tail wag next. So looking over your shoulder, draw your hip up to the rib cage as you look. And then inhale and exhale, switch to the opposite side. And just keep flowing through that. Side to side. And we'll do one more. Exhale as you bring that hip up. Inhale as you come around and exhale to the opposite side. Okay, next inhale, come back to that neutral position. Let's curl those toes under and push back into downward facing dog. Once you're there, we're going to walk the dog. So go ahead and draw one heel down as the other leg bends. And switch and pressing that weight into your first three fingers, your thumb and your first two fingers. Kind of distributing that weight through your hands versus holding it back at the wrist. Keep walking that dog. And then we'll move to both legs, lifting up on the balls of your feet. And stretch the arch of the foot. And then guide those heels down towards your mat. And inhale, lift up. And guiding back down. And one more time, inhale, lift up. And guiding back down. Okay, walk those feet wide. So width of your mat, wide leg, down dog. Might be able to get your heels down a little bit further on this one. Lengthen through your spine. See if you can bring that tailbone back and up a little bit more, flattening out your back. On this one, I forgot to mention this before, but sometimes people are pretty lax in their shoulders and they tend to hyperextend here through the shoulders, and that's actually not, that's risky for that shoulder joint. So if you happen to be one of those people that can really hyperextend through that shoulder on your down dog, you want to stop yourself and try to keep a nice neutral position there with the ears between the upper arms. Okay, let's walk those feet in. Draw your knees back down and uncurl the toes. And now we're going to lift up onto our knees. We're going to do a kneeling, slight kneeling back bend. So just take those hands up, you're tucking them in your back pockets. You're going to pull that belly button in, slight tuck of that tailbone, squeezing your glutes as you push those thighs forward, then the hips. Then it's really more of an opening of the belly and the chest. You're welcome to look up, but if that doesn't feel good on your neck, you can come back. And then draw those elbows back. Still engaging those glutes. Squeeze those glutes, belly button in. It's a gentle back bend, extension of the spine. The squeeze of the glutes helps to keep from hyperextending, keeping the stress off the low back. So that's a helpful tip. Okay, let's go ahead and walk those hands forward. We're going to go into puppy. So the arms extend, the hips pull back, but they stay lifted. They don't go all the way back to the heels. And then if you'd like to draw those hips all the way back to child's pose, go ahead. I'm going to give you an option, different option. Instead of your arms being stretched out like this, you're going to see my right leg sticking out. It's the only way I can show you what I'm talking about here. Getting that out of the way. You can wrap your arms around like this. Really open up through those shoulder blades. And I think this one is called rabbit, but my brain is failing me right now. You're going to bring the top of your head, the crown of your head down on your mat. And then keeping those hands back, you're going to reach behind that heel if you can grab hold of it. And as the head comes down, you kind of pull on the back of the heel, trying to open through that upper back. That's a little tricky, so if you feel like that's not accessible to you, just sticking with that puppy position or that child's pose is just fine. Okay, let's release those heels. We're going to come on up, walking those hands forward into modified plank. Belly buttons in, tailbone slightly tucked, pressing into those hands a little hollowing out of that chest. And then on your next exhale, keeping those abs engaged, really strong abs. Go ahead and lower yourself all the way down to your mat. Inhale, we're going to lift up into a little baby cobra. As you do that, lengthen your legs, squeeze your glutes. Belly button pulls in, pubic bone down, chest is open, shoulders are away from the ears. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down. Just feel the difference when you engage those glutes, lengthen your legs, pubic bone down, belly button up and in. Opening through the thoracic, the chest, and upper back. Back down. We'll do one more time. And release. Okay, moving to crocodile. Bring the feet out to a V shape. And you draw the toes out and draw the heels down towards the ground. My right leg won't do that because it's not going to work for me. You'll see this one working pretty well. And then you're going to stack your hands. Option to look straight down, so your forehead rests on your hands, or you can turn to the side. Okay, if you're looking at one side, just switch the head to the opposite side. Okay, so everyone is going to look to your left, and you're going to slide your left leg up as far as it feels comfortable, sort of a half frog. Once you're here, you can stay lying down right here, and I kind of think of this drawing my inner thigh towards the ground, and then moving so that my lower leg is straight down from the knee, so more of a 90-degree angle. A couple options here. You can stay down here, or you can lift up into like a sphinx position. Expand that opening in the hip flexor and inner thigh. Okay, if you're up on your forearms, let's go ahead and come down. We'll extend out that leg and we'll switch to the opposite side, drawing that knee up. And then you can stay lying down or lift up to your forearms either way. Okay, let's go ahead and bring the upper body down first, then extend the leg. Nice long legs, hands right outside. Hug those elbows in towards your body. Remember, squeeze those long legs, pressing up into Cobra. And then we'll push back into downward facing dog. And so down dog, or not down dog, I meant child's pose. Yes, brain didn't work too well there, but it's a nice counter position for those extensions, especially if you're up on your elbows. And if you did down dog, that's okay too. Feel good. Okay, come forward. Let's step our right foot forward. We're going to go into low lunge. As you do that, kind of sneak that foot forward so that your knee is right above the heel. You don't want that knee pushing past. And then this leg, depending on how tight you are, it might be right under your hip or it might be further back. So kind of play around with that and find a good spot for yourself. Left hand is going to plant on the inside, gentle twist. And then bringing that hand down. We're going to shift our weight back into half monkey. This is another one if you're pretty tight in your hamstrings. Using blocks is nice. Let's breathe into it. Okay, coming up, that foot that's out in front, I want you to slide that to the outside so that your heel is in the same line as the knee. So if you drew a line on the floor, it'd be a direct line. That leg is straight and the foot is flat on the ground, the entire foot. As you draw your elbows down and your hips back, push down on that foot so you feel a stretch in your inner thigh. And then that same foot that's out to the side, go ahead and shift it back, curling your toe under. Gently press that heel back. If you don't feel it in your calf, go ahead and slide that foot forward a little bit more. Then push back, and you're going to push that thigh up toward the ceiling. You can go ahead and bring that knee in. Let's step our left foot forward into the low lunge position. Again, front heel is below the knee. Right hand is going to come in on the inside. Gentle twist. As you do that, sometimes this knee will want to open up, but I want you to keep it hugged in. At this point, sometimes we'll roll out to the outside edge, but not right now. And then bringing that hand down, shifting your weight back into your half monkey or half split. Remember to use your blocks if you'd like. Drawing your nose toward your knee. And then shifting that foot to the outside so it's a nice straight line from the heel to the knee. Push that foot flat on the ground and draw to your forearms. Do you feel that stretch through the inner thigh area? And then drawing that leg behind you, going that toe under, and shift forward. Then push that heel back. You can actually come up onto your hands if you need to, and push that thigh up towards the ceiling. Okay, bringing that knee in, go ahead and curl those toes under. Press back into your downward facing dog. Walk your hands to your feet, going into forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale into half lift. Hands at the shins or the thighs, lengthen out that back. Exhale, draw the hips down, and inhale, stand up. Okay, so for the next part, we're going to be going side to side. So if you wanted to turn your mat so that it's horizontal and you're facing this way, you can. Totally up to you. Just wanted to let you know which way we're going. Okay, great. So we'll start with 5-pointed star. Inhale, drawing this point up. Exhale, let's go to Utkatasana, which is goddess. So drawing those hips down, drop those knees, same direction as your toes. I'm going to do my goddess arms like this, palms forward. Now when I'm in this position, kind of pull my belly button in and point the tailbone back down towards that mat. And then inhale, lifting up. Raising at the sky. Exhale back to your goddess position. Okay, the next time we inhale, to lengthen your arms out to a T and draw your left foot in as the right toes point down towards the end of your mat. Inhale, we're going to slightly lean forward. Try to keep this hip though engaged, so you're not popping it out. Now we're going to rotate into triangle. Option to use a block to extend your reach. On the triangle, to keep my hand in front of the foot. And if you are, try not to put a lot of pressure on that shin where you're getting some hyperextension pressure on that knee. So keep it pretty low if you can. And then think of the opening happening from the diaphragm up. So opening through that chest and shoulder. Excellent. And bringing that hand down, nose semi-pyramid. Step your back foot back about a foot, drawing down to a lunge position. Inhale, lift up into warrior one. So on warrior one versus lunge, the heel comes down on warrior one, the foot's at an angle. As you open to warrior two, you might want to shift those feet around. You're tracking one in front of the other. Just depends on those hips for everyone. Inhale, let's go to reverse warrior. So you lengthen out that front leg, drawing that back arm back. If you want to wrap it behind your back, go for it. And then exhale, bringing that hand down. Going to go ahead and rotate those feet back to that beginning goddess or five-pointed star position. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, lift. Exhale, goddess once again. Inhale, lift. Last time, goddess. Belly button in, tailbone pointing down, knees same direction as the toes. This time, inhale, lengthen into a T, and then turn your right foot in, and then the left toes go to the end of your mat. Reach forward, trying to keep those hips pretty solid here, rotating into a triangle. Once you're there, starting from the diaphragm up, open, expand through that thoracic spine. A good tip here is to keep the palm facing the same direction that you're looking. Sometimes people have their hand twisted here. It's hard to open up that shoulder that way. Nice neutral position with your neck. And then bringing that hand down, moves to knee pyramid. Again, you can use your blocks on either side, especially with this one. It's a tricky one with tight hamstrings. Okay, draw that back foot back about an inch, 12 inches, back foot, and then go down into your lunge position. Inhale, lifting up into warrior one. So draw that heel down. Toes are pointing about 11, 12 o'clock. And then warrior two. Warrior two, make sure that knee stays pointing in the same direction as the toes. It didn't carve in. And then inhale, reverse triangle. So lengthen up that front leg. Reach up. You can wrap that back arm behind your back. You know what? Lengthen through the rib cage. And then exhale, just bring that hand down, turning back to that front position. We'll just bring our hands to our heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sitting into your chair position. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sitting down into balanced squat. That means your hips are low, your heels are lifted, and you come up into Mudra. So your hips might be like probably a lot lower than mine. So if you see that, I'm going all the way down. So balanced squat. All right. And then we'll go one hand on each side. Let's make our way. Before we go onto our back, I want to make our way to all fours position, and then we'll roll over. I like to do one more deep stretch for the shoulder, and then we'll do our hamstrings to finish our practice. Okay, so back to all fours. Let's start by lifting our left arm up. As you do that, get that same feeling that you did in your triangle where you're going from the diaphragm up. First, opening up through that thoracic spine. Our thoracic is a little bit more mobile than the lumbar, so focus on that. And then go ahead and thread that arm through the open space, as the shoulder draws all the way down to the floor. Once you're there, a couple options. Extend the top arm straight out, or you can wrap it behind your back, like we did with reverse triangle. You can also, it's easier to do with the leg, you can extend out your leg as well with this, if you wanted to. So if it's your left arm threaded, it's the right arm that extends, the right leg that extends. Okay, coming back in. Come back up to all fours. Exhale and hold. Okay, when you're ready, opposite side, right arm lifts up, take your time with this. And then thread it through that open space, shoulder comes down, this arm extends, or wraps. Or option, for me, it's a little bit harder to balance like this, so I like to put my hand out right here to stabilize. And let go. Okay. One more breath. Bringing that leg in. Lifting up. And we'll roll on to our back next for our recline hand to big toe. So make yourself comfortable if you want to lay it down. Okay. So you want your strap again or your towel. So this one is great. It's going to be a hamstring stretch with also a focus of adductor, which are your inner and outer thigh muscles. So we'll start with our right leg coming in. Knee comes into the chest. Go ahead and just reach behind the back of the thigh. And rotate that ankle a few times in each direction. And we're going to lengthen that leg. So we draw up. This is where you can use your strap. So you're going to wrap it around the arch of your foot. Okay. And pull that leg towards you as much as you start to feel it right back here. It doesn't have to be excruciating. So just let it talk to you a little bit. Now, my opposite leg is bent, and that's going to make this position easier for me to do. So I'm just going to hold that for a minute. You can point and flex. It's called flossing. And then if you feel comfortable, or when you feel comfortable, go ahead and lengthen out that opposite leg. You might lose a little bit of range when that happens. That's okay. One hand on each end of the strap. And then think about grounding that opposite leg. So really push that thigh down onto the mat. Get this out of the way. Okay, both ends of the strap are going to go on our right hand because it's our right leg that's up. I have a preference of holding the strap closer to my foot. That makes me feel like I have more control, but I have seen people hold it further away. So just so you know, there's some options there. The opposite arm is going to go out to the side in a T position. This is going to allow that side to stabilize. So kind of push that opposite shoulder into the ground, rounding that out as the leg comes open to the side. Now, traditionally in yoga, you don't want the opposite hip to pop up on this one. You want to keep that grounded and pushed down. So see if you can engage those abs and ground on the opposite side. And you only come as far down as you can keep that stable. And then we'll switch. So go ahead and switch hands. Left arm grasps the right arm, comes to the side. This is where I feel it in my so this is your TFL, it's a small tiny muscle, and it goes into the IT band, which is really challenging to stretch. So if you pull that leg in a little bit closer, and then pull your pinky toe towards you, and then head over, you'll usually feel it in that area. Remember, let your body talk to you. Don't go too far that it's screaming at you. Okay, let's go back to the center. And we're going to do that one more time. Opening up to the outside. And the opposite arm is in a T. And switch. Opposite arm in a T. And again, it's not about how far the leg goes over. It's more about getting the leg in and that pinky toe back. Right through. Sorry, my AC keeps going on. I keep forgetting to shut it off before I teach. And then the family will probably revolt on me. They can handle it. Okay, come back to the center. One hand on each end of the strap. See if you can come in a little bit closer than where you started. Now, some of you would be a lot more flexible. When I was younger, I could put my toe back on the floor behind me. But not anymore. Okay, let's release that leg. Gently come down. And just take a moment to feel the difference in your right and your left leg. It might feel like it's longer. I'm not going to accept any claims that yoga makes your legs longer, but it feels like it. All right, let's switch to the opposite side. But before we do that, go ahead and bend that leg you're just working, and then bring the other knee to your chest. Little ankle roll. So we'll go through that same series, and then we'll do our shavasana. Okay, go ahead and extend that leg up. And slide up your leg. This is where you grab that strap. And then pushing that thigh down into the mat. And then both ends, one end of each strap in each hand, you're kind of pulling that leg close to you. And then both ends go in your left hand, because it's your left leg. This arm goes out in a T. When you're ready, this hip stays grounded as you open to the side. So kind of push that back of that shoulder blade down and keep grounding that leg. So push that thigh down as the leg opens. And then bringing that leg up, we'll switch sides. Again, this one, pull the pinky toe back towards you and bring the leg in more rather than going over. And then the opposite arm does the T. You should feel that through that side of your leg, maybe still a little bit in the hamstring. Okay, let's do it again on each side. So switch those hands out. Take your time with it. Just kind of explore, find that sweet spot for yourself and hold it. Nice deep breaths. And then we'll switch to the opposites. Hand. We're going to extend out that opposite arm to ground. Pull that pinky toe towards you. The leg in a little bit closer if you can. And then come back to the center, one hand on each side, so you can bring it a little bit closer this time. Okay, let's release that. Come on down and prepare yourself for Shavasana. Just kind of enjoy the feeling of that openness in the hamstrings and the legs and the hips. Just kind of doing a scan inside your body, see how your body feels physically with the muscles and the joints, and checking in how you feel emotionally, mentally. Just without judgment, just a lot of acceptance and appreciation and optimism. When you're ready, go ahead and roll onto your side or make your way up to seated position. And we'll close our practice as normal, bringing your hands to your heart center as we honor each other and our paths, bringing your hands to your forehead. Namaste.